welcome back, nail queens. In today's video I'm going to do a first impressions video and review and like application and everything on my nail tips of the Ritzy Dips acrylic dip powder system. This is their dip liquids that I have here in this box. I purchased a starter kit from them, so I got a one color dip powder of my choice, dip liquids. It also came with their glass clear dip powder, the duster brush, the file, the little orange wood stick, all the things you essentially really need to begin doing dip powder at home. I mean, of course you could use like rubbing alcohol to cleanse your nails and stuff like that, but for the most part these are really all the tools you need to do dip nails at home. So I'm excited to try out this starter kit. If I remember correctly, I actually purchased this sometime last year in May, perhaps April, I'm not really sure. I think I bought it during a sale they were having, and I haven't had time to use it since then. Just been really busy with like wedding planning, content creation, brand sponsorship, stuff like that. It's been very busy, so now I have time. I have nail tip extensions on. I actually put peel base on my tips, so that is air drying right now. Basically, if you are watching this and you're like, what the hell is peel base? It's a long story. Since I do content creation, I like to switch out my manis pretty quickly. I don't wear manis for longevity. I use it for just because I like to switch out, try different products. I think they're pretty and stuff. So peel base means I can pop off whatever I'm wearing easily without having to soak in acetone. So the Ritzy dip system does come with dip liquid application. They have all these instructions. I actually really appreciate that they included this, because a lot of brands don't include instructions, and it really doesn't have to be like super elaborate or unique. It doesn't have to come on a card. I know for my press-on business, I put my instructions on the back of the cards. Let me show you. So I put my instructions on the back of my cards, and I know a lot of dip liquid or dip powder companies put instructions for their liquids on their cards, or it might be too expensive to source the cards and everything. You don't have to do all that. Like, literally, printer paper is perfect. You don't have to. Besides, most people end up throwing away the cards anyways, so why not go with the cheaper system? So I like that they have the steps here. They say apply your step 1 if you want your mani to last for weeks. Skip the step if you plan to use peel base. Hey, they already know there's people out there like me. This is actually really funny, because I didn't really think that a brand would include peel base in their dip liquid instructions. Like, if I was brand new, I'd be like, what? What is peel base? Step 2, apply a thin coat of step 2 base coat. All right, so let me open this first before I read all the instructions. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, Ritzy, I see you. Look at that. Hello. They got their initials on here. RD. Oh, so fancy. I love these little containers, by the way, the boxes. It's so nice. Okay, so we have our bond is step 1. Usually this helps whatever product you're putting on bond better to your nails. So that's why they say skip it if you're using peel base, because you don't want your stuff to last long. I can't believe I'm saying that. But yeah. Oh wow, this packaging was nice. I do kind of wish they had used glossy bottles. I find those are easier to clean up. The matte ones look dirtier. This is not a criticism of them. It's just me thinking from like a brand owner perspective. So opening that up, that definitely smells like a bonder. It's a very, very thin liquid, like watery type liquid. Oh, I just love the smell of that. I love the smell of anything that smells like a nail salon. So this is their dip base, but their packaging with the shiny against the matte, it's so nice. It's so luxurious, very like high end. So opening their dip liquids, I've never used this bottle before, so I need to clean that up a little bit. But I do like that they have that little bottle stopper insert in there. That means when your brush is coming out of the bottle, it naturally wipes off any excess liquid on the inside of that stopper. So that is a nice thing that they did. I'm glad they have that. The activator liquid has a stopper insert. Not really necessary for it, but it does have a stopper insert. That's not an overwhelming smell. I appreciate that too. And then the top coat. I'm basically just making sure all my bottles are opening. This one's a little more stiff. Mind you, I've had these since I think April or May, so they've just been sitting there. I should have used this sooner. I feel bad. So it probably like sat on its side and kind of leaked over. My bad. So yeah, I'm gonna move these over to the side and follow the instructions. My peel base is not completely dry, so it's gonna be a couple minutes before I get that started, but I can set up my desk in the way that I like to have my stuff set up. Where are my cupcake liner? Ta-da! So the color I chose was Plumberry. I just really like these magenta-like colors, so it seemed like a good color choice to start with if I was going to test out the brand's liquids. And I think solids really just tell the truth on how good a brand's liquids perform, if they're patchy, if they're not, if they're runny, if they're not, stuff like that, because a solid will show all your imperfections. So I was like, let me try that out. I'm gonna give this a quick stir as well because it has been sitting in my nail station, just accumulating dust for a little while. So give that a quick stir. She is pigmented. She is beautiful though. Why aren't you dry yet? I just applied 1 coat of peel base. Usually the first coat of base application on nails when you apply peel base to your nail may almost always guaranteed be streaky. That's just how it works because peel base makes your base bond apply streaky. So if this applies streaky, that's not to the fault of Ritzy dips. It's because I have peel base on my nails. So I'm just gonna start off here. And when I apply base bond to my nails, I like to take it out of the bottle and then wipe on the inside so I don't get too much base bond on the nail. Okay, so this is the consistency, like the viscosity of the liquid is a little thicker than what I usually use, but the brush fans out really nice so far. At least on my thumbnail, it fans out really nice. Let's get up in there. I've seen these liquids like highly recommended from people. All right, so now I'm gonna dip in this powder. That's why you have cupcake liners. Tap, tap, tap. And then take this tool and run it around the cuticle. There we go. Not bad, not bad for a first dip. And I'm really glad I used a cupcake liner because that would have gotten everywhere. See, that's why you should use those. Especially when you have the smaller jars, like 1/4 ounce jars. All right, I'm really liking the shape of this brush right now and how it works when I like fan out towards my cuticle. Let's go towards the side walls. This brush is really nice, I like it. Let's dip. Ooh, this coverage is really nice since it's a thicker liquid than what I'm used to. It's not just thick, it's not thick. It's just thicker than the thin ones that I like. So I would say it's like more of a medium viscosity. Not too thick, not too thin. And since it's more on that medium viscosity, the coverage on your first dip is really nice, very pigmented, very full coverage. I'm trying to make sure I don't touch my skin. Of course, it's almost impossible, so I always wipe with my glove right here. All right, clean around the cuticle. This is really applying really nicely. I like this. We'll see after I dust everything off how that really applied, especially with peel base on, you know? And I'm really glad that they included this orange wood stick because I love using some kind of like sharp tool to go around my cuticle line. So it's nice that they included it. And they give the instructions to use it to go around your cuticle line. If you notice there's like already like red product around my cuticles or whatever, it's because I took off a mani earlier from a different brand I was wearing dip powder earlier. just a different color, and it was red, so there's a little bit of residue that I wasn't able to remove with the hand file or an e-file, and I don't want to risk like pulling up my nail tip just by trying to pry that little excess off, so I just like leave it be. I just live my best life. All right, so now I'm just gonna dust all this off over here. Actually, I'll try one right here so you guys can see it. So yeah, the first layer of application coverage isn't perfect, and that is definitely to be expected if you're wearing peel base underneath your dip. So that was totally expected, but you can see on this nail it applied really, really well. For a first coat with peel base on it, that applied so well. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed on this first coat so far. It's very nice. Wow. This little, there we go, got that off. I'm gonna let those dry a little bit longer before repeating that step. This is another thing that's to be expected with something that's like a medium or thick viscosity kind of liquid, just on like the thicker side. Since it's not a super thin liquid, it's traditional that it'll have more liquid than there is powder absorbing. So it'll have that wet look, that shiny look, and you might have to dip your nail back into the powder just to remove the shininess. You want the powder to absorb whatever liquid you may have on your nail, so I just keep dipping until all the shininess is gone. And that's to be expected. It's normal. I've experienced this many times with other brands too. I'm really liking this base liquid. I wonder how it holds up over time though, for like contamination purposes. I should definitely continue to use these liquids over the next coming months on my manis and when I do like dip powder press-ons and stuff, just to see how it holds up with contamination, because that's like another thing that I definitely care about when it comes to dip liquids is how long will they last? Do they get thicker over time? Does the bottle glue shut? Stuff like that. Those things mean a lot to me when it comes to using and wearing dip liquids. It's more than just performance. It's like, what's the shelf life on it? Does it contaminate easily? Does the bottle seal shut easily? Things I care about. Go around the side wall. What are some things that you care about or look for when you're trying out dip liquids? Like, I want to know what your preferences are, or things that you definitely are more vigilant about when trying a brand new brand. Or when you're shopping around and you're reading reviews from other people. What's like the utmost important thing for you?
Try so hard. Baby, come let down your guard.
So I will say I didn't get perfect coverage around the cuticle area there because the first dip was a little sparse. So I'm going to try to get close to that cuticle line just because that first coat was not great for me on my thumbnail, which, you know, is not the end of the world. And since it didn't go on super even on that first coat, this nail is a little lumpier than the rest, but we can buff all that out later. So I didn't want to have to do 3 coats, but this nail really did call for it because that first coat was uneven and patchy because of my peel base, which is normal, to be honest. All right, so this is 2 coats on my index finger. Don't worry about the staining. I'll show you how to get rid of that afterwards when I finish activating the nail. Let's see how this is going. So far, so good. I do notice there's like a little bit like a white. I don't know if it's coming off of this. This is from their kit. It's brand new. It's the only thing I'm dusting, but I also see it in the dip powder. So I don't know what that white stuff is. You see that? Like the little white residue that's still in the powder and on my nails. It's a little strange, but hopefully when I activate or encapsulate and clear, activate all that stuff, then it will go away, hopefully. Alright, so yeah, don't worry about the staining, it's fine. Oh, that was a lot. That was a thick coat. I applied too much. Definitely lumpy from the uneven application on the first coat, and I hate that for this thumbnail, but hopefully we'll be able to buff everything out smoothly. We'll see.
Name a better duo. So why do we do this day?
I am finding, I have my bottle over here, that the liquid pools really easily right here at the top of the bottle. So before you seal your bottles shut, my recommendation would be to wipe them with like a lint-free wipe and a little bit of acetone just to get off any wet base that might be on there. So your handles, like your brushes and your handle, does not glue shut. You don't want them to glue shut. So you want them to open the next time you go to use it. So I'm going to do that before I close those bottles. See, I don't really have to dip my brush back in the bottle. That's how much liquid is still on my brush when I'm dipping my nails. So it's very interesting how like the viscosity really plays a role in how much you have to re-dip your nail back into the, your brush back into the dip base bottle. Okay, so if it looks a little bit wet, I'm just like re-dipping just to make sure the liquid and the powder all fully absorb. That's not perfect. Yeah, that's gonna go in the trash. I don't even care about preserving it at this point. Okay, so that is for the most part just done set. I just have to wait for that to air dry. So I'm gonna take a lint-free wipe right now. My other ones are like full of pigment from wiping things off, and a little tiny bit of acetone. Shouldn't need a lot. And wipe off the top and outer rim of the bottle so it doesn't glue shut. I'm just trying to like be super extra careful and prevent anything from gluing shut, you know. Thing on and dust all this off. I'm glad that they included a stiff duster brush and not a soft one. So many brands I know, Nail Boo, includes soft dusting brushes with their kits. And I don't like that because I feel like stiffer ones do a better job at removing excess powder. They're better for removing excess powder, and this helps ensure you don't contaminate your liquids and your layers don't look bubbly and stuff. Like, it does a better job at removing excess powder. So I'm definitely a pro stiff dusting brush person. So I'm gonna take the activator and go ham. Oh, okay, it really coats that really easily. You don't really need to go in for a lot. That brush holds a lot of activator. Wow. Okay, I'm very impressed with the brush. We're gonna give it about 2 minutes to air dry as per these instructions. Yep, 1 to 2 minutes it says right there. We'll let that air dry. While that's air drying, I'm actually gonna clean up any dust that's on my nail station. Be right back. So it's been a couple minutes since the activator has basically set. What I'm gonna do to remove the staining right now so it doesn't look like my hands are sore, because they're not, I promise. I'm taking rubbing alcohol and a lint-free wipe and literally wiping off the pigment off of my skin. That's all it takes to remove pigment, staining, stuff like that they may have gotten on your skin. I like to do this before I file and buff. Oh, I might need a few more wipes. This is a lot of pigment. That means it's a very pigmented shade, and hopefully that means it won't buff out the color and it won't look streaky when I'm buffing. We'll see, we'll see. So now I'm going to use their file. This is a brand new file though, so what I like to do with my brand new files is I like to soften the edges. What it's called is priming your file, and I just do that by taking a used hand file and then going around the edges. The reason I do this is because brand new files, they can be very, they're brand new, right? You know, the edges can be very sharp and they can cut you if you're filing too close to your skin, which is very easy to do. So I like to just prime them to prevent any cuts from happening, because no one likes to make themselves bleed, or at least they hope not. And that is basically how I soften the edges of my hand file. There we go.
It's yours. My love, just rest assured. I'm yours. I'm yours. Tell me what you've run.
Oh, that's the rough nail. That's the bumpy, lumpy one. I do have to fine tune my shape a little bit better because dip powder always makes your shape look more bumpy and lumpy and wider and thicker. That's just the downfall to using dip powders. You have to do more work with shaping than you would if you were using nail polish or gel polish. All right. They included some of my favorite buffing blocks. I love using these. So while it's nice and fresh, let's use it on the bumpiest nail. I do think they could have at least included 2 of these. Would have been nice, because they are kind of like single-use buffing blocks. So I think at least for like a starter kit, 2 would have been nice. And by single use, I mean you can usually use it for like to do both hands, not just single use on one nail. But you can also use your hand file to aid you a little bit if you're having issues. I am going to use something else outside of their kit that's not in their kit. It's a glass file. I'm just running it around the cuticle edges.
Tell me what you're running for. You don't have to try so hard.
It's not super smooth. It feels super smooth. It actually feels super smooth, like sleek to the touch, but it still feels like a little lumpy, you know? Let me bring my other buffing block. It's my beast. Anything that I'm using that is not included in their starter kit, I'll be sure to link below, as well as their starter kit, just so y'all know what I'm using that wasn't included. And shout out to Amazon, because all these products I'm using that were not included in the starter kit are available on Amazon. Get some rubbing alcohol on this. There we go. See, you can see it a lot better when I like remove the dust. There you go. So it's time to get going with these. I'm just gonna continue with my buffing block. Like I said, I think they should have included 2. And then this is good for smoothing out the imperfections. There we go. Oh, that feels nice. Just gotta go around this edge. That edge. Ta-da!
With any mistake, they quick to run, and so you run, jump the gun, but know that you got it. Even at your lowest, you got it. You know that you got it. Baby, take the moment, you got it. It's yours, it's yours, it's yours. My love, just rest assured.
Alright, so the thumb was the only nail that really required extensive buffing because y'all saw how lumpy that was applied because the first coat didn't go on super well because of my peel base, which I anticipated. But the other nails, the application went well, and the filing and buffing seems to be very minimal. Very standard for a smoother application. So I'm very happy to report that the application was smoother and the buffing was easier to do on these other nails. I'm very excited about that. So let me just wipe them all down with fresh rubbing alcohol so y'all can see this beautiful magenta color. Like that. That's nice. I'm actually going to pull out my glass cuticle pusher because it has a pointy glass end, and I use that to get all up in the nooks and crannies of my cuticles where any dip powder may have lurked. That's not attached to the actual nail. It's just clinging onto my skin when it shouldn't. And I use that to remove any excess. And since it's such a pigmented color, I tend to do this only necessary when like I'm using really pigmented colors, because you don't want it to look like your skin is bleeding when it's not, simply because you're using a red based or berry based color.
Baby, take the moment, you got it. It's yours, it's yours, it's yours. My love, just rest assured. I'm yours, I'm yours. Tell me what you run.
Alright, so I'm going to clean this up and get ready for top coat application because it's almost time. I do need to apply another layer of activator though, because it says wait no longer than 45 seconds. So let me wait until I clean this up. Alright, so now we are going to apply a generous layer of step 3, and it says to wait 30 to 45 seconds. Hey Siri, set a timer for 40 seconds.
40 seconds, starting now.
Thank you. Yeah, I use my Siri. Makes life a lot easier. So it says about 40 seconds. 45 seconds. That's why I said 40, because I was like talking already and already applying when I asked her to set these timer. And then after the 40 seconds are done, it says wipe each nail with a lint-free wipe or paper towel thoroughly. But it doesn't say to use it with rubbing alcohol. It just says wipe it with a lint-free wipe or a paper towel thoroughly. So after 45 seconds, I'm just gonna give it a nice good scrub, which is right now. Thank you.
Why you always jump to? Do I really want you?
Alright, I think that was thorough enough. And then take the top coat and apply one thin quick layer in about 2 to 3 strokes.
'Cause you've been abandoned with any mistake. They quick to run, and so you run. Jump the gun, but know that you got it. Even at your lowest, you got it.
All right, and then repeat. So that's the perfect timing.
It's yours, it's yours, it's yours. My love, just rest assured. I'm yours, I'm yours. Tell me what you running for, 'cause you don't have to try so hard.
You can't come up yet, buddy. Oh, wow, that's so shiny and smooth. Oh, Alfred don't care. He's like, I'm coming up, mother. You want to say hello to the camera? Say hello, everybody. I like to party. Hi, buddy. All right, a cat just stopped on by. Hi, buddy. I know. You want to show everybody your head again? He's a beautiful cat, you guys. Oh my, this is so, like, glass. It's so shiny. That reflection, though, so freaking glossy. Oh my goodness, I love this. No wonder these liquids come so highly recommended. Oh my gosh, I'm just so impressed. So far, so far. All right, so this is it for my first impressions and review of the Ritzy Dips solid dip powder and liquids. So far, I really loved the application and how smooth it was. I love the liquids. I love this color. I definitely plan on keeping y'all updated in the next coming months as I continue to use these liquids in future manis. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Rest assured, I'm yours, I'm yours. Tell me what you're running for. You don't have